All right, fine. Okay. So, good evening, students, and welcome to our first session of Entrepreneurship Idea to Startup course that we have started this year for the exclusive members of the ECEL. And today is the first session, and I now invite Raylan, who is the coordinator, student coordinator for the Civil Department, to introduce our speaker for today, Dr. Poonam Ojha. Raylan, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I take this opportunity to welcome a speaker for today, Dr. Poonam Ojha. Dr. Poonam Ojha has done her PhD in English and is in the educational sector for past 25 years. She has a very interesting career path. Started with schools teaching history and English. For last 18 years, taught communication skills in various engineering colleges under Mumbai University. Simultaneously teaching as visiting faculty in B schools like NMIMS, SP Jain, and Pur group of institutes. Has always been deeply loved as a teacher and trainer. Since last year, quit full-time teaching, now an entrepreneur, founder of Metamorphosis, offering services in spoken English and professional skills. Also visiting faculty at NMIMS Mumbai and Great Lakes Institute of Management Studies, Gurgaon. Over to you, ma'am.
Hey, thank you so much, Raylan. And before I start, I have a request. Could some of you at least please switch on your videos? It's very disconcerting to see I'm speaking and I'm listening. So a humble request. Thank you so much, ma'am. Kala ma'am. Thank you, sir. Satek sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wait, Avila, thank you. All right, thank you so much. So before I start with the session, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Don Bosco College of Engineering, especially the management of Don Bosco College, the director, Father Kinley De Cruz, sir, principal ma'am, Dr. Nina Panandikar, the ECEL team, and especially Avila and all her student and other team members. This is an amazing opportunity. And once again, thank you so much. So without spending more time, you already know who I am. Let's begin with what I have to share in the next hour or so. So who are we? So here we are, the duo. My name, Raylan already told you, and I have my daughter, Sharanya, you can say hello.
Hi.
So we are
Hi, Sharanya.
Yes. So we are newly made entrepreneurs. We're just about a year old as entrepreneurs, and we are the first generation of entrepreneurs in our family. In fact, I belong to the state Bihar, which is now Jharkhand. And in my entire family, we would be the first, not just amongst, not just amongst women, but also amongst men to take up entrepreneurship as a full-time, what should I call it? A passion. That's what I think, right? I call myself forever young. So the only question that students are not allowed to ask me is my age. Apart from that, I would welcome all questions as we go along. And Sharanya, of course, has jumped in with me as the young representing most of you. So a small introduction of Sharanya. She is an engineer by profession. And that's another reason why I thought she could add value to my young friends here. She has done her BE in computer science from Mumbai University. After that, she was very clear about what she did not want to do. So she did not want to pursue pure technology. And for a year, she did think about design and working in the environmental sector and so on and so forth. Till last year, she jumped in as an entrepreneur with me. And we will be sharing a lot about her journey as we go along. Another thing, this is a very interactive session. So my request again to students and even the faculty is, at any point of time, if you wish to ask, or let this be a conversation rather than a monologue, or as I love to call a Poonam Mata Pravachan, which I'm famous for. So, you know, by now I'm very talkative. So you can always stop me and cut me in case it becomes monologic. Now, what are we going to cover in the next 1 hour or so are basically two things, as it is the first session of this course, which is beautifully designed, called Idea to Startup. We will take up two aspects of that. we're going to take up the concept of entrepreneurs, and we are going to look at the mindset. So we will spend about half the time looking at one and the remaining half looking at the other, because according to me, and now having experienced entrepreneurship, I think it's critical that we begin where we are starting, where I think we should begin today. So before I go any further, I would want to interact with my participants. I haven't seen any of them yet. So once again, I request some students at least, so please switch on your video. And I'm going to give you 2 minutes to think on the question that has come up on the slide just now. And the question is, why do you want to become entrepreneurs? I guess that must be what has brought you to the e-cell, and therefore you are participating in this course, right? So take about a minute or so, think, and then as soon as you are ready, I'm ready to jot down as to what is it that calls you. So your thinking time starts now, and do let us know once you are ready. Are all videos off? Okay. So Avila ma'am, can I request you to intervene, or Kala ma'am intervene and ask them if they're okay with it at least?
Students, please.
Thank you, Raylan.
Raylan, all the other students, please ensure that your videos are on.
See, you gain more from these sessions if you interact and if you participate. Let's forget that there is a gap of about 1,000 miles between us, and treat this like an ordinary classroom. So thank you for the people who accepted. Is anyone ready with the answer? And believe me, I do not cut marks for the wrong answer. You can just think aloud. So yes, Rutvik, Jaden, Raylan, why are you doing this? So are you really thinking, or any takers?
Okay, ma'am. So my father's a builder.
Okay.
My grandfather's a builder. So I'll be the third entrepreneur in our family.
Great. So it's a family thing for you, right, Raylan?
Yes.
That's why you want to do it. Thank you so much. And thank you for being the first one to participate. I really am grateful. Thank you. So Raylan is doing it because it runs in the family. That's what he says. He would be the third generation of entrepreneur. Thank you. Yes, anyone else? Now, can you see that when you speak, I don't bite? Raylan just proved that, didn't he? So come on. Who else? At least give me 2 or 3 more answers. And if you're confused, you don't know why you are here, if it's a certificate, if it is Avila ma'am threatened you, just go ahead. I promise no action will be taken on telling the truth. Yes, Rutvik, you've really thought long and hard. What brings you here? Are you keeping a check on the time? So we just get them. Yeah. Oh, did I? Okay. So since there are no takers, let's just go ahead. Usually when I have interacted with people, you know, there are many reasons that they give. Some of you could be here because you think, you know, these, like Raylan shared, that because it's in the family, he's not yet sure as to what he wants. So let me start by sharing with you the reasons that should not be in your list, if at all you've made one, okay, according to, and so these are the things that it's a glamorous thing to do. It's an in thing. It sounds better than joining a corporate job. So if you have this on your list, I would strongly recommend that don't let this be the reason. Let's look at the second one. You will be the boss. How many of you think that's the reason? Nobody to answer to? You know, मेरी company है, जो मन में आएगा करूंगा या करूंगी. So if that's the reason, I request you to think again, and I'll share in some time why. It has flexibility. You wish So 9 to 5 job, if you wish, it will start at 11. You may work if you wish to, and you may not if you don't. If these are the reasons that attract you to entrepreneurship, so I would request you to keep your ears open and listen, because this is not what it is. These are all myths surrounding being an entrepreneur. You will make more money and you will have a larger impact. Impact, yes, large impact. You're going to become a Tata or a Birla overnight without having to put much effort, and there'll be a lot of money. Data says just the other thing, that only about 10%, and I'm sharing the main source from where I quote all of this. So this is from Dustin Moskowitz Stanford lecture series, and there's clear data. You'll easily find it on Google, which will show you that it's a misconception that owners earn the most. So if money is what you're looking for, then entrepreneurship is not for you. You rather find a job, have skills that will pay you enough while you work for a big company or a multinational company. Okay. That's it. Okay. Because the ugly truth is, to all the points that I told you, these are the data. Just look at this. There's a lot of stress and depression. Believe me, it was not easy for me to quit a very comfortable job as a professor working in an engineering college last year. Even when I took the decision, there was stress. And yes, there have been days where I've been depressed about, did I do the right thing at this particular age? People were waiting for me to just continue and retire. And this thought still comes up. In fact, I've been told that quite a few people in my organization still don't understand why I did what I did. And that can be depressing at times when people don't get the reason why you take such a big step. Trust me, it's a huge responsibility. So today I stand as a startup who is ready to take in people and employ them. I'm offering employability. I've started that. But along with that comes a huge responsibility of taking over a life, giving them enough so that they can sustain themselves and their family, and trusting Metamorphosis to do that. The third important point is, everyone is your boss. So my customer dictates my terms, especially when I'm a startup and I don't have a name as of now. So my customer says, no, we can't come for today's class, and I have to cancel the class. You know, the people whom I request for funding dictate me. So you are definitely not the boss. You have to, so I'll show you what skills help you such that you get your work done, but you don't get it done because you're the boss, just because you've started a company. People are looking up to you. You are the role model now. So I am a role model for not just my family, my friends, even my students and my colleagues. They are waiting to see whether I make it or I break. And then it will be quoted as an example. So I stand today for either inspiring a lot of people or for becoming a laughing stock that we told you it's the wrong thing to do. So I hope you're getting it. You are always working. There's no point of time in the day or night when the thoughts of how to make this company grow doesn't come in my head. So unlike my 9 to 5 job where I could switch off at 5 p.m. and play solitaire, can't be done now. Even then the thought comes, should I be doing something? Should I be making, some new course module, looking at marketing? And as I pointed out, you can check this data, 0 to 10% of the cash inflow, whatever your company or Metamorphosis earns, 0 to 10%. To tell you the truth, right now, my personal earning is 0. So my finance minister sitting next to me, and I don't get a salary at this point in time. She says, you don't need one. And I can hear her saying, you don't deserve one. Pehle kaam karo. Are you with me? So there's no money. There's no money. And if these are the reasons why you are here, I request you to think again. Okay, then why should you be an entrepreneur? That's the question. Anyone? All those are not the reasons. And tell me, again, I request some of you to at least speak. Did you have this on your list, or was there a thought or a little voice telling you that these are the reasons why you should take up entrepreneurship? I'm told you're all first-year students, young, waiting for the world to offer what you want from it. So think again. Now I'm telling you, why should you do it? Those are not the reasons why. So you should, the best reason is You cannot not do it. So when I took the jump last year, I'm going to share in some more time, I realized that no, I cannot not do what I'm doing now. I wish to train. I wish to contribute to people, because I knew through the feedback that I got through my students that I made a difference. I had an impact. The method that I created worked. And I said, oh, I cannot not do this, right? So that should be the best reason. And according to me, the only reason why you should jump into entrepreneurship. You need to do it. So that this is what makes me and Sharanya get out of the bed in the morning. It creates a lot of anxiety and there is excitement, right? So it makes us, we need to do this. This keeps us going. And again, in the next slide, I'll be sharing what was happening to me when I took the jump. And that's not enough. I can't just do it because I want to do it. But what I offer should have takers. The world should need it. So, there are lists of entrepreneurs who came up with these amazing ideas, but the world didn't want those ideas. Then it's of no use. Are you with me? So it has to be both ways. It is something that I love to do, and it is something that's a requirement for the world, because you'll be doing it for others. It's not about you. And at this point in time, I'm going to share why did I take the jump and what made Sharanya, who could have made a good career in UI UX. She's good at it. She's a good computer engineer and she loves it. But both of us have decided, and we are for sure, that the jump that we've taken is what we are going to do. So these are the reasons. As far as I am concerned, I relate with this quote. So Raylan, can you do me the honor of just reading that quote for me loudly? And I'll take a water break. Can you see the quote, Raylan?
No, ma'am, I'm having network issues.
Okay, you have network issues. Avila, can you see it?
Yes, Poonam. Yes, yes.
Can you help me, please? It's good to hear someone else's voice. So go ahead. This is why I did it.
Yeah. Okay. Quote, one day you will wake up and there won't be any more time to do the things you've always wanted to. So do it now, says Paulo Coelho.
So Paulo Coelho is one of my favorite authors. I read a lot of his books. And this quote hit me hard. So my 9-to-5 job was amazing. The people were good. I had credibility. I was enjoying myself. But I realized that the zest and the passion that I had for training had long gone. It was a rigmarole. I was just going through the motions daily. I used to go deliver my lectures, come back. But the fun and the excitement that I started with in early 2000, my first college, my first few lectures, the first batches, the kind of connect that I made with my students was missing. And all the while I was thinking that there's something wrong with my students because of which I don't have fun. And then I realized, no, it's not about them. It has become monotonous. It has become boring. There is no drive for me to grow and learn anything. So I used to enter the class thinking, "Yare, inke liye bahut aata hai mujhe." And that kills you. You stop growing as a human. That's what I realized. So yes, it was a difficult decision, but I was clear that that I have one life and I want to live it. And I found my passion. And this was something that I used to dream of, that, one day there'll be a board and I'll be sitting there and doing something. I was not even sure about what. But the only thing that I'm good at is speaking and training. And that's my calling. I've been a teacher since I was in the 7th standard. So there was clear that this is what attracts me, I'm passionate about. And in so many years, I've been fortunate to have the kind of experience which brings me to bring on court, design my courses and deliver it in a manner such that people like. So the final decision last year was because of this, that it's going to get too late. I don't know whether I have another life. Nobody knows. So this life, I want to do what I want to do. So that's my reason. Now I would want you to hear from Sharanya, why she took the jump. So Sharanya, yours.
So last year when mom started her thing, it was an offline class, all right? And she wanted my help with designing the brochures, designing the pamphlet, designing the logo and all of that. So I was helping her then. When the lockdown began, I attended quite a few webinars myself. In the very beginning, you all remember how many webinars there were in March and April, right? And I realized that why can't we do our thing online? It is so easy to reach out to people. You are sitting in Goa, I am in Mumbai, and yet here I am talking to you, right? And so mom and I, we just experimented with 1, 2 webinars, 3 webinars we did. We had 300 participants in each. And that's when I realized the impact we could make by doing this. All of the students we could reach out of. When I was a student, when I was in college, first year engineering, I was a very nervous kid, okay? I didn't know how to take responsibilities. I didn't know how to speak in front of people. My mom is a communication skills faculty, and I've always heard this ki, how can you be afraid of speaking to people? Poonam ma'am is so good, right? And then I realized that there are other people like me who need a platform for these skills. So you see the next quote where they say that the true joy in life is being used by a purpose that you recognize as a mighty one. This is my mighty purpose, making these skills available as a platform for one and all. And this is why I jumped in. So yeah.
All right. So these are the reasons. You heard it from me. You heard it from someone who is about your age. And was it easy? Again, the answer is no. So as we go along, we're going to share. So this is what we want to sum up the first section. We've shared with you the concept. Okay. The why should you become an entrepreneur? All right. So you can read this again, a very famous quote by someone who made the term very popular in the 1960s. So you're not just a business owner. You have to experiment with new combinations of resources. So honestly speaking, when I started, I wanted to do soft skills, personality development, interviews and group discussions, because I could see that there's a huge gap between, yes, it is taught like a subject, but as a skill, there isn't enough, that there are a lot of, the circumstances are such, the environment is such, but it's not feasible. People want to do it, but they can't. However, we had to juggle. And one of the best commercially viable products that we have today is spoken English. We realize that in India, because we are non-native speakers of this language, there's a huge barrier. People can read, they can write, but they're scared of speaking. And now what has really given us a lot of satisfaction and honestly speaking money is the fact that we take people beyond this fear. So we were resisting it. That was a new combination that we tried out, right? And it worked. So you will have to have an idea, a core idea, and work around it and juggle around it. So I hope in this 10-15 minutes, we've answered the question as to why you should become an entrepreneur and what are the reasons. They can be there. Of course, you'll get to be your own boss. You'll get to have an organization the way you want it. So I am a fan of certain organizations. So is Sharanya. She likes the way certain organizations work. And we were like, why can't we create something like that? So I have 25 years of experience, and everywhere I thought, oh, if I were in the right place, I could make these changes and the world would be a better place. The workplace would be a better place. But it was just an idea, a thought. The jump I took last year, Sharanya has been with me for the last 6 months. And trust me, that is where the combination has given us results. So she chips in where I do not have a forte in, which is technology, handling this medium. So the confidence to handle this medium comes from you, younger people. Okay. So that's it. I have covered who is an entrepreneur? What is the concept of entrepreneurship? So does that sort of answer it? Are there any questions? Of course, we'll have a dedicated question answer. Right? Okay, anything you want to ask? Anyone? On the basis of what we've shared, or should I go ahead? Okay. I will believe that everyone is understanding everything and it's not the other way around. That's why there are no questions. Okay, let's go on. So what do you need? The second part is, what do you need to be an entrepreneur? You can also look at it as a broader umbrella under the mindset. So there are certain tangible things that you need. Ye to hona hi hai if you want to be an entrepreneur. There are 4 things, right? The first one is an idea. And not just an idea that the world needs, right? So if you just Google ideas that didn't work, you will get a list of things that people had great ideas, but the world did not require. So you want to be an entrepreneur? The bare minimum is that you have an idea as to what is it that you want to do. Translating that idea into a product. Now that's critical. You can't just have ideas. So I had an idea when I quit. I took about 6 months to make it a product. I went all over, haywire. I didn't know what is it that I specifically wanted. In fact, the first product I designed, people told me it looks like a college syllabus, because that is what I was used to. So there was, and I didn't have anyone to guide. So I'm going to end with that. I'll tell you how lucky you people are. So I did it all. I just pandered, intuition, jumped into it. Right? And even when I was asked to talk, most of the things that I would share is through intuition. And then Sharanya helped me find data that yes, your intuition is right. So I'm not saying it doesn't work, but why do you want to take a difficult path when things are available? So the data that I'm sharing with you, my intuition matched with what the theory of entrepreneurship has to say, right? So the first tangible thing, you must have an idea. So you're starting off on a journey, you're participating in a course, you should know what is it that you bring on the table. Second is, this idea must get converted into a product. Let's look at the third thing. Okay, so you need a team. You cannot become an entrepreneur by yourself. You may take the plunge, you may take the jump. So again, just to share, I think almost 5 years back, I had made a WhatsApp group of 4 people, 3 other colleagues who were working with me in the last college that I worked for, and myself, and we called ourselves trainers to be. And I kept waiting that one of them is going to do what I'm doing now and then take me on board and I'll become an entrepreneur, my own boss. And that didn't happen. So finally, the journey that from that 4 years, things, and I'll share what made me realize that I could do this a little more later. But what I'm telling you is that you need a team. Now those people are on board. They're joining me as trainers. But someone, you being an entrepreneur, will have to take the risk and take the plunge. Trust yourself and trust your idea. And of course, what you need is good execution. And that is where Sharanya's education in engineering, her strength in handling social media, understanding the millennials, is really helping a lot. Her execution has made my company stand. Till last year, I was all over the place, not knowing where I was going, wondering whether I should quit and go back to teaching. But this is what has happened. When the good execution started happening, my startup now stands. Okay. And there's no question of going back now. Now, if I look at the same 4 things, now what is my idea? So it's a platform for social skills. That's the idea that I'm selling. What's the product? So I sell 3 products, right? As I mentioned earlier, what the product that is selling fast, has the maximum market, is spoken English for adults. This is a huge market, especially as I told you, because English is not a native language. The second product that I offer is professional and employability skills to people your age. So even now I have 1 batch done, the second batch on the anvil will start soon. These are people who have somehow not been exposed to practicing speaking confidently in front of people. It is a practice, it's a skill. You're not born with it. It's not a talent. Some people may be good at it. However, anyone can learn it. So that is where we stand. So that's the second product. It's for post school. So, for school and college going and young people who are just about to enter the corporate world. And believing that these skills should be taught early on, our third product caters to school kids. So we take students from 5th to 10th and we teach them skills which get left behind in the school curriculum, which is listening and speaking. And of course, we touch on soft skills. I'm just showing you how only by addressing these 2 skills on the face of it, we actually work on many skills behind the back. Because to do this, to listen, you have to have these skills. So those are our products. Did this happen overnight? No. It took me 1.5 years and we are still polishing it, making it better. It's an ongoing process. There's no end to it. Is my product done with and ready? No. After every batch that I take, there are certain things that I realize while I'm delivering it to the participants. And then I have to customize it, change it accordingly. So it's completely an ongoing thing. The third thing, a team. unrelenting support of family and friends. And if you have that, you are blessed. So days when you are depressed, days when you think you want to quit, there are these other people who will show you that they have more faith in you. So as far as I'm concerned, my family, my husband, my daughter, they said that, no, you have it in you. Don't give up. You can do it. So a team works, not just a team that comes on board with you in your startup, but even otherwise people who are there. Execution. And 1 year I took up a place. I used to spend a lot being in Mumbai, where infrastructure costs a lot, and I could form only one batch. So I'm talking about June 19 to March, April 2020. We didn't know this platform is there for us. And circumstances made us see that, oh, this platform works. Then the first 5 months, we were not sure. Can you teach body language and confidence and presentation through this? There was a big question that the participants had and I had. But we didn't give up. We started slowly. There are people who trusted us. We took family members on board. We experimented. And then today we are confident that if you don't think that this is an online medium, it's all here. This medium works as well as the offline medium, right?
Can I add something?
Yes, Sharanya wants to add something.
So the most important thing in the past couple of months, I have spoken to a lot of people who are in engineering colleges who want to become startups, right? And there's one really important advice that I have for you guys. It's focus on the idea. Okay, build an idea that even like 2 or 3 people love, so that they can spread it on. You know, when I came on board, we made our first 2 batches of spoken English. We gave it our all, okay? All. Mom used to teach them very dedicatedly. I used to keep following up. Feedback was critical for us. So after every week, I used to call them up. Do you have feedback for us? Is something going wrong? Are you guys okay with it? And you know, with that, we formed a rapport. The next 2 batches, they made for us. That's how we knew that the people loved the product that we put out. And that is what your focus needs to be on having an idea that even a small group of people love. And then all you have to focus on is scaling up. So, and that's what we are doing right now. All right. So that is the core piece of advice that I'll give you.
Okay, so these 4 is what we got from a lot of reading. I have added a 5th one, which I call luck. However, people look at luck in different manners. Let me explain what I mean when I say luck. All right, this is what I mean. How lucky you are does not mean that it's the opposite of hard work, that you don't have to do anything and one day you get blessed. A fairy godmother comes and showers her blessings or touches the wand and Viola, you get what you want. It's not like that. So consistent hard work, latching on to opportunities when they come your way, taking risks continuously, and someday something will click. Right? That's what is luck for me. And I'll share with you how that happened. Look at this quote by Steve Jobs. So you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. So let me share my 18 years of journey with engineering colleges. So I'd been teaching comfortably in a college which is very close to my house for about 10 years. Then the time came to take a jump, and that's where I met Avila. I switched to a college which was very far from my place. So from a 5 minutes commute time, I started spending 1.5 hours one way commuting. And it was frustrating and irritating, and it had an impact on just about everything. And I used to crib and complain. Avila is laughing. She'll recall the tantrums I used to throw about why did I join Vidyalankar. And Avila has been a very dear and very close friend who stood by all my tantrums and bared with me, right? And of course, I quit because it was not working for me. After 1.5 years, I found another opportunity with the college. Then I stayed with that college for 10 years till I left. Now, at that point of time, that 1.5 years of struggle and hard work and getting wet in the rains made no sense. Today, when I look back, I can chart my journey growing as a professor of communication skills. So the second college that I worked for gave me what I was looking for, which is an upgradation in my designation. I became a senior lecturer. That got protected when I shifted from that college, which otherwise this new college that I was joining had no such platform. I would have to start anew as a fresher, right down in the hierarchy. But this 1.5 years, which was then so tedious, gave me returns after 1.5, 2 years. While I was working in the last college that I worked for, an opportunity showed up to work or handle 600 school kids and 3 principals. And it was a risk. People asked, are you sure? And I jumped and I took that. That's what I mean when I say that opportunities show up. Now I latch on to it. I worked there for 2 years, and everything that I learned about being an entrepreneur, about handling people, about seeing what skills are required to run a bigger institute comes from there. So those 2 years, if I used to question myself because it did not add to my career as a professor. Nobody would recognize that, what I did for those 2 years. And there were times when I would get frustrated and say, did I make the wrong choice? Should I have continued as a professor? But when I look back to where I am today, those 2 years have played a crucial role. The kind of work that I did, the kind of people I interacted with, a very self-made entrepreneur, there was so much learning. So I hope you get it. At this point of time, certain things there'll be no explanation to it. But you'll have to grab it, you'll have to take the risk. So one thing which I've not put on my slide, but one thing that goes hand in hand with becoming an entrepreneur is being okay to risk, right? Okay, now there's a small activity again. I hope some of you by now will start participating. I hope I've established my credibility as a very safe trainer who only speaks. So can I request some of you, or you can even put, yeah, okay, ma'am. So Kala ma'am, I think, has left. So I'll just thank her for being here. So there are 2 things that I want you to do, some of you at least, to share. And we are looking at what makes an entrepreneur. So we saw the first part, tangible things. Now I'm taking you towards certain other things which are not so tangible, but critical for you to become an entrepreneur. So can you just share 1 or 2 names and tell me why do they inspire you?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
So may I know who's speaking? And if your bandwidth is
Yes,
low,
my name is Suresh.
so it's okay if you keep your video off because your audio is not clear. So video is off. All right. So yeah, can you please share now?
Yes, ma'am. I think the entrepreneur that actually inspired me is Elon Musk, because he has built a new revolution in the world, that is of electric cars and all the electric devices.
All right.
And he's actually doing a really good job, I feel, because it's really environmental friendly also. It's not hurting that. It's a good revolution.
Great. So that's the product that you like, the idea that you like, the idea and the product. Did I get you right? May I have your name, please? Can you put it on the Shivesh? Is that Shivesh Avila? Did I get the name right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Shivesh. Now that's the product.
Ma'am, it's Shwesh.
Shwesh. Okay. Thank you, Shwesh. And Shwesh, now if I ask you to think about Elon Musk and tell me what is it about that man that inspires you? I got it that you like the idea and the product. And we've already looked at that you want to become an entrepreneur, you have to have an idea, a product which the world also wants. There's no question about that. Now I want to take you to the other skills which are not so tangible. I call them intangible skills. So does anything open up for you? Do you want to share?
Yes, sure, ma'am. Because I've been reading about Alan and I've realized that he is a really hardworking, right from his childhood itself.
Great. So
he's been reading books for a long time.
Okay.
Yes, he has been reading.
Can you put it on the chat box, please? So your voice,
Yes, sure, ma'am.
so can you just put it on the chat box and I'll read it out for you. Anyone else apart from Swesh? While he's
What I also got from Shwesh is you admire his creativity,
yeah.
right? The revolutionary new ideas that he's coming up with Tesla, with SpaceX, right?
Yeah, you consider silence to be yes.
I think he's
Okay.
typing.
Yeah, he's typing. And anyone else apart from Shwesh? Shwesh, thank you so much for participating. At least one or two more. What inspires you about the people? So if you are an Apple diehard fan, does Steve Jobs inspire you? And what about him that inspires you? Is Shwesh typing?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon.
This is Ifam Sayed speaking.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, the entrepreneur that inspires me was already taken by the previous person, actually.
Okay. You can mention some other quality, not a problem. So you can talk about Musk and talk about some other aspect that inspires you.
Okay, the thing that inspires me about Musk is his craziness, actually.
Okay.
Like the thing he did with the Cybertruck, that's a ridiculous design for a car.
Okay.
And it sold out pretty well if you go to see. And his main objective was the memes that are recently flooding the social media and things like that. Okay. And the way he does things, it's like really crazy. And I don't know, just looking at him inspires me. And the way he just goes into things and then improves them. Like, he took up SpaceX. Everyone ridiculed him for taking it up. They were like, it's gonna fail, it's not gonna being a success, and all those things. But still, he managed to like keep on improving his company, his the rockets and all. And now NASA has approved of his reusable rockets.
Great.
Exactly. So what I like about him the most is that he's a crazy person. He does not shy away from taking risk.
Yeah, that's the point. Good. Yeah, go ahead.
And I don't know, maybe that's it.
Great, great. Thank you so much. We got it, and thank you for sharing. Rutvik, okay.
Manan Shah, both have
all right.
followed their passion.
So I think everyone, it's a direct message.
Yeah.
So my request is if you can put it for everyone, then I'll have a talking point. We will not have to repeat it. So we got that. Rutvik has written that his role models are Trishneet Arora and Manan Shah. And both have followed their passion and helped organizations to be safe over the internet, right? Great. So, but what I can get from all your sharing is you're focusing on the product, the idea and the product. And can you see that how critical that is? And I'm glad you're sharing. So we are establishing it, right? That all the people that you look up to, the successful entrepreneurs had ideas which the world needed. So does that establish it for you? Rutvik, everyone who's participating and people who are listening and still participating. Okay, I hope you get that. So let's move ahead. Let's look at what are the other skills. And from whatever, who shared after Shwesh? So can you just put your name on the chat box? Who shared about Elon Musk? We didn't get your name. Something, was that Rafan?
No.
No?
Ifham.
Okay, Ifham. Okay, Ifham, thank you so much. And I'll just show what you shared, which skill we are talking about. So I'll give you the same example. So let's look at the intangible things. It won't be seen the way your product is seen. However, they're critical if you want to be an entrepreneur. Here's the first one. Discipline and managing self. There are no shortcuts. Yes.
This was Swesh's point, I think. Right?
Okay.
Put it on the chat.
Okay. So it was Shwesh's point. So look, there is no one sitting on my head saying you have to do this. This report has to come. You know, whatever work I did, I had someone to hold me to account. Now there's no one. And working on your own requires more discipline. It requires me to management. This is not a long holiday that I have taken. In fact, there's far more work beyond 8 hours that I used to put in any institute that I worked for. And to be able to do that, it's imperative that I have discipline and I manage myself. Okay, and I'll give Sharanya some time to share as we come to the most critical part. That is my learning in my journey of 1.5 years. And she'll share how my experience, my age, which I'm not supposed to tell you, helps me do this a little better than maybe you youngsters. So don't give up. It happens. For you, it's a little more challenging for Sharanya to stay disciplined. So Netflix, and then you don't know how the next episode just comes. You can't do anything about it. You're so helpless.
Seconds, guys.
Yeah, it was just 5 seconds. You can't even switch off. So you have to binge watch. So, where I'm leading you to. But can you become an entrepreneur without these? The answer is no. Is discipline and managing yourself a skill? The answer is yes. Are we born with it? No. Is it difficult in the beginning? Yes, like all skills. It is a skill. So believe me, so you can learn it. Communication. I love what I did for the last almost 20 years. And I realized that at the root of anything and everything is communication. So the ability to create that same meaning, understanding, as I call it, between yourself and the other person. We, underrate it. We assume we are good. And believe me, all problems arise because of this assumption of us human beings that I speak the language well, so I'm communicating well. So as an entrepreneur, like someone just said, the people laughed, right? They ridiculed his idea. People ridiculed my idea. They said it's not deliverable. So when I teach spoken English, one thing that I go against is I debunk grammar. I say, no, I'm not going to teach grammar to teach someone to speak in English. And people challenged me, questioned me, Sharanya questioned me, till I had to put my foot down and say, hey, I'm the expert here. I'll give you results. You do my marketing. And it's after my 8th or the 9th batch that she settled that, okay, grammar has nothing much to do with speaking, because you can read and you can write, you know enough grammar. Does that grammar help you speak? No, not at all. So this was an idea which got ridiculed by just about everyone till I delivered. All right. So, and communication matters at that point of time. There, I didn't use communication. I used domination. That's another thing. But you will have to articulate if you need funds. Now, luckily for me, we don't have a lot of monetary requirements as of now. We are planning to grow, and then we will need money for marketing. But my product does not need money. I need something far more priceless, which is intellectual capacity and the intellectual property rights. That's the kind of thing that I'm looking for. But you people will have products like Musk, products like that will require money. Then your ability to communicate that the idea that looks crazy is not, you will require communication.
And even Musk's way of communicating, it creates intrigue, right? The way he announced his baby's name on Twitter and all of that, it creates a style of communication that is typical to Musk. So that is also not communicating. It is his way of communication, which really inspires us. You like his craziness, right? So it is an important thing.
All right. So the next one is leadership and team building. So you have, by becoming an entrepreneur, you have taken leadership, but leadership is about leading. As I said, it comes, and there's a Gisapita statement, but it is so true that it comes with a lot of responsibility. And you will have to first build a team. You cannot do it alone. It is a community phenomena. You will need other people, even if the idea is yours. Okay. Creativity and analytical thinking. So there's nothing new that I'm offering. There are a number of institutes, organizations that offer that I'm offering. So in fact, we debated that. Does your idea have to be new? The answer is no. You can't have, you don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. But the way we present it, the way we package it, what we stand for is what gets our customers to us and what gets our customers to refer us to others. So don't worry. I mean, it's not that you have to have a novel new idea. Not necessarily. You can take up an existing something and make it bigger, better, such that it fulfills the needs of people. Networking, very important. You have to know people. You have to use the skill of networking, knowing the right person in the right place through the right methods. Okay. And the last but definitely not the least, which is again the crux of just about everything that I've mentioned earlier, that is to handle your emotions, your own emotions and that of others. So we call it emotional intelligence, and it is being taught in these schools and other places. And it's critical that you start reading and understanding your emotions, because it is going to decide all of this, whether you'll be able to discipline yourself, manage yourself, communicate, be a good leader, everything. At the root of it will be whether you are able to understand your own self and others. Okay, so these are the intangibles. Now, a couple of more things. Now, this is something which maybe you're hearing it for the first time. We call it constraints. What you need is to constrain yourself. So we were discussing in the morning. So there is this very popular saying about thinking out of the box. Okay, about just being creative. But unless you put a box around you, you do not deliver. The product does not happen. You keep discussing. That's what I experienced. So what was the constraint that you have to put? You've got to stop and say on resource that I have to launch a new product by this time. I should be able to take this much risk. So I took a risk of 1 year when I had a liability. I had a physical space for which I was paying rent. I was paying electricity. I had hired 2 people for the maintenance. So I was paying that. And I had that much so that I could sustain myself without creating problems for my family or anyone else. So I worked that out. But I put myself, and I had given myself 1 year. So 1 year with a partner and second year on my own, saying that if this year I cannot cause business in this place, I'm going to quit. Right? But circumstances and other things happened such that I did quit. However, it turned out to be better for me. Quitting the physical space turned out to be better because my online medium is what was the need of the hour. In my offline medium, I could conduct a class only once a week on Sundays. Mumbai people cannot come 3 times for 1.5 hours class. However, they find 1.5 hours 3 times in a week now. So I started delivering results, which didn't happen in that 1 year. I had 1 batch and on customers. Now that 1 batch, there was no closing to that 1 batch. So that 1 batch continued for 1 year, no money. I just took 1 lump sum, which was a very pittance amount. And for 1 year, I didn't know how to close that now. Are you with me? So it was like ongoing. There was no measure to whether they've learned. Anyway, I'm teaching soft skills. So after 15, 16 sessions, it's difficult to give you a tangible, measurable result, like a report card. That becomes a subject. Have I taught you that skill? You can only see it in the real world. So I did not put any constraint. I said, till my customer wants. And I realized that, it's just ongoing, doesn't give us results. So we constrained ourselves. I said, no, we will deliver what we say we will deliver in these many sessions. So for spoken English, we have 36 sessions. For employability, we have 15. And for the kids, we have 10. Are we delivering results? How do we showcase that? So we have a grand event. We invite people to see that these are the skills that people have learned. Spoken English, they get back to us because they're practicing in the real world. So are you with me? So if you don't put these constraints, your ideas will remain ideas, or you'll go all over the place. So we thought, anyone used to come and ask me, ma'am, are you going to teach us IELTS? I went and did a course on IELTS. Someone came and asked me, ma'am, SAT, meri bachchi ko SAT dena hai. Will you teach SAT? I said, yeah, I can do SAT. I started reading SAT. GRE, I did GRE classes. I'm talking about 1 year. I said yes to everything. Not constraining myself, saying, okay, it's an opportunity, let me latch on to it. But it's not like that. Somewhere you'll have to get focused and say, this is the core thing that I want to deliver or work on. All right. So that's what we mean by constraint.
A very engineering example of constraint is when you have your assignments due a month later, you tend to not work on it. But when it's due like tomorrow, you will definitely work on it and finish it. Right?
Deadlines.
That is how constraints help you. They actually help you grow. And in an entrepreneurship, you will not have an external person setting the constraint, right? Avila ma'am will not say, submit the assignment now, get done with it. You have to set that on your own. And it is a very, very important thing that we want to leave you with. Set your own rules.
And live by them, right? And we've come almost to the end. The last and the most critical thing, and I believe if you can master this, you are an entrepreneur, and that is how you handle failures. I hope you can see the image that has just come up. It looks like that. It looks as though the path is very straight for people who make it, but it's not. And look at the other side. It so very well represents. There are times where you will get kicked out of that path that you are taking. And the ability to keep bouncing back is the key quality of an entrepreneur, or I should say successful entrepreneurs. I know so many people start something, give it up, try again, give it up. Finally, the third or the fourth round, they just give it up, not knowing maybe that the next step would have given them the result. So if you're really crazy about it, don't give up. Failures will happen. I know it's a cliche. I know people have told you, but trust me, I'm experiencing it. So we failed in causing numbers. So Sharanya, you can share here. So we have experienced failure after starting off very well and doing 6 batches. Sharanya will share what happened, how she went into, what should we call it? Some kind of a space where Metamorphosis got shaken. And because of my experience and the fact that we are together, I was able to pull her out and say, no, it's just a failure. Sharanya and Poonam and Metamorphosis have not failed. Some steps, some actions that we took at that point of time did not give us results. And this is going to happen. You cannot keep being at the top and doing whatever you did. So she was very high when she just did what we could do. And then she went into an all-time low. And I'm talking about now, the last 15, 20 days. Till I had to establish this again with her. And that's why this is my last slide. And then we'll just have Q&A that I want to leave you with. So deal with failure as something that did not give you the result. That's it. It has nothing to do with your ability, nothing to do with that you are incapable. It's simply some steps you took and it did not give you results. Take steps. Results are caused when you take some action. And now I'll ask Sharanya to share how she stopped taking actions because she thought she failed, not her action. Okay. So here.
So for the first 6 months at Metamorphosis, making classes was very easy for me. It was a cakewalk. Initially, our customers got us more customers. I just had to, okay, this is your Google form, pay the fees, make the back end work and everything. After a point of time, I had to start running some Facebook ads, start social media marketing. It was still easy until October, I think. I did not make a batch in the end of October. We used to make one batch every month. That's our rule. And I did not make one. And then it got stretched to November, where we had 2 people who were ready to register for our classes and nobody else. And at that point of time, I really thought I failed. And then I started doubting because I'm the kind of person who's consistently been getting results. And one point of time when I don't get results, I'm just boggled. Okay, I don't know what to do. And consistently it has been happening for the past like 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. That that is when mom pulled me back. That is when her experience, her support counts. That it's just so now what we've done is we've hired somebody who's doing an MBA right now. They have live projects, they need to help out startups like us. And we have a space to hire a marketing intern who can look at our funnel, who can advise us how to go about it, who can also give me additional manpower in calling people, managing the backend. So what we did was we came out of I accepted that failure was in the action. I did not fail. And I did a new thing. And that is the key thing about failure. That is it. Your action has failed, not you.
Yeah. And I would just like to point one data which I wanted to share and didn't know where to bring in, but now I can share that people who take up entrepreneurship at a slightly senior age, the success ratio is 70%. Vis-a-vis you youngsters, your success ratio is only 28%. And when I think now, I think the difference is in handling failure. I do not get as demotivated as you do. I'm not saying I don't. It matters that no revenue is coming. There is no batch. We've promised a trainer. It is disconcerting, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to give it up, right? So don't give up. If you have an idea, and as she rightly said, even if you have initially a small group of people who love your idea, love your product, it's going to work. You be at it. Don't stop doing it. All right. So this is the last point that we have to make. Now, I'm going to take a quiz, my style. I love to do this. I'm going to show you cartoons. Okay, there are 6 cartoons. All right. And Avila ma'am, the person who gives the most answers, please give him a gift or a reward on my behalf. Okay. Or you'll have to wait till I come to Goa. So here now at least participate. If you can't speak because of bandwidth and internet issues, put your name and put it on the chat box, but put it for everyone. Okay, so we've kept our chat box ready. Here's the first question. These are cartoons which depict what we've shared with you. So it's like a recap that we are doing. So here's the first one. Here, you have to tell us what is the message that we are trying to give you through this cartoon. Can you see it? Avila, is it visible clearly? Raylan and Avila, I can see.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, Rutvik says it's myth versus reality, right? That's almost the correct answer. Can you make it more specific? You're right, Rutvik, you're right, on the right track. What is the specific message that we want to give you?
I think the message it wants to give us is that people think that it's a cakewalk, okay, entrepreneurship, but in reality, it's like really difficult.
Yeah, it's not a cakewalk. People don't know the grind that goes behind. Thank you. And yes, you won the first prize. Claim it from Avina, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's not as glamorous as people think. That's what we want to leave you with. One. Second, come on. Yes, Shubham, that was also right. Expectation versus reality. That's what people expect from entrepreneurs. Actually, that was the real. That's the correct one. Look at the second one. Okay, we're waiting for answers. I think ma'am will have to announce what reward, then they'll jump in. So what, one attendance marked or something like that, of 2 grace marks in assignments? That's what they love. Requires maximum time investment. Yes, right, Nishi, absolutely correct. Did I get the name right? Nishil. Okay, anything more? Something that we've shared, that initially you have to. Yes, actually Rishil is right. So let's show the answer. We just have it worded differently. At least in the beginning, till your team is ready, till people are on board, you will always be working. There's no getting away. So I was just arguing with Sharanya. She has kept, some sessions for me even on a Sunday. Zero income in the beginning. Yes, but we'll show you one very clearly. You're absolutely right. And beginning means 1.5 years now. Yeah, okay.
Hey, we don't have
Got
zero
that.
income.
No, zero income for me. As the founder trainer, am I earning money from Metamorphosis? The answer is no. Sharanya is patting my back, but I'm okay with it. I love what I'm doing. And that's, yes, my favorite. Question 3, who wants to go for it? See the bugs of New York, 25 cents. What's that? Come on, I thought this was easy. What does that man have? Do you want me to give you a clue? Rutvik, is that for the previous one? 0 to 10%. Yes, is what you will earn from your startup. Whatever is the total earning of that, around 10% is what you get. And there's data on the net. We shared the source.
Yep.
Yes, Naveen, thank you. Your idea should make an impact, be useful. So here, if the man knows what the bug is, maybe he'll find it at home or something like that. But it's a novel idea. And he's converted that idea into a product. Correct.
Just to make it more relatable, if I come to you and I say, I'll take 50 rupees and I'll, point out all the palm trees in Goa, would you give me the 50 rupees? That's the idea behind the cartoon, right?
Yeah. Okay, the next one, I think 4th one. Yes. The answer is clearly there in the cartoon. So the difference between entrepreneur and wantrepreneur. I was a wantrepreneur for 6, 7, 8 years, wanting my idea to automatically become a business or someone else to take the risk and jump. So who wants to give us the answer?
I think you already gave us the answer.
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
It basically means you have to put it into action.
Exactly. Great ideas will remain great ideas. You will not be an entrepreneur. You will be an idea generator, maybe a philosopher. You'll have to write a book and give it. But entrepreneur, you will have to have a tangible, a deadline as Sharanya was pointing out to when you're going to convert your idea into a business. Yes, execution, correct. You should convert your idea into a product. Perfect. You all have been listening. Thank you. Convert your idea to a product or a service. Yes. Yes. I'm glad new people have participated. Nicole, Naveen, Leonardo, thank you. So anyone?
Someone said family. Shwesh.
Okay. Shwesh, yes, very critical. You need your family to support and be there with you. Yeah, you can interpret that. However, there's something more that we want to say. That my parents say it's going to give you a sense of responsibility, but I am looking for. Can you see that? Any takers, or should we show you the answer? Give it a shot at least. It's okay if you don't have the right one. Viewpoint, yes. How are you viewing or looking at something? But what is that little boy looking at? He's looking at getting rich quickly. So should you become an entrepreneur if you want to earn a lot of money? The answer is no. Find a multinational that's going to pay you a lot of money, and they do. So that's what we are trying to point out, that money should not draw you. It will be a result of what you do. If you do what the world loves, they'll be ready to pay. Look at Apple. Look at Musk. Okay, you're ready to pay because you love what they are offering. However, that shouldn't be the main motive. The why. Remember, the why is critical. Okay, one last one. I will zoom it. I'll zoom the cartoon for you in case you don't get it. It's really beautiful. Give it a try.
The stairway to success is filled with failures.
Very good. Excellent. Can you see the failure here? I have used, oops, sorry. Sharanya, why doesn't the animation work? I zoomed it. No, I did. So something with Apple. Okay, so if you look at the word success, it is made with failures. Everywhere it's failure. I had zoomed it, but I think we are using her laptop.
Better than my answer.
Success is made up of failures. Yeah, you framed it better than your try again and bounce back. Excellent. And this is the key thing that I would want to leave you with. So what do we want to leave you with? There are 5 things that we want to leave you with. First, this is critical. And there is this, who's that? Simon Sinek. There's a Simon Sinek video, TED talk. Please watch that. He has explained the why, that all companies which are great companies have a why in place. Then comes the what and the how. Why are you doing what you are doing is critical for you to be an entrepreneur. That's point 1. I know how 100% communication does not happen. My request is remember these 5 points. Get your why in place. Why do I want to become an entrepreneur? The second, this you'll get anywhere. You must have an idea, a product, team, and execution. You must execute your idea. Okay, that's the second point. The third one, believe failure is a stepping stone. Yes, we say it is a cliche. We agree it's a cliche, but try it out. The fourth one, have some rules and constraints while starting out. Some rules like we've defined. Nobody's forcing us, but we've made the rule that every 1 month batch, and we hold each other to account if that doesn't happen. And we look at where the gap is such that we could not cause what we said we will cause. And that works, Yeah, we also fight and bicker and do all of that, but ultimately we have to cause what we said. So right now, we bought more than founders of Metamorphosis, we start behaving like mother-daughter, and then we draw a line there also. We said, no doing that. Let's talk this as equal people in Metamorphosis. Okay, so yes, those rules also have to be drawn. Yeah, and this is, you people are really lucky, and you will realize this on hindsight. Now it may be a burden for you. It may be force. I have no clue, since most of you did not share, as to why you've taken up this course. If it is a requirement of the course or the curriculum or the syllabus or your college, believe me, you will not be able to see it now, but it is going to become very obvious a couple of years down the line, because everything that I shared with you would remain intuition. My son Sarthak, who's pursuing data science, is in the 3rd year, he and Sharanya helped me show that, okay, what you are saying, here's data. I went the other way around. And the chances of making mistakes, my intuition can be wrong. But you have a guided course which did not exist when we were studying. There was nothing called an entrepreneurship course. So do make the best of this platform that your e-cell and everyone who's involved, your college, your management, your principal has offered. Do it wholeheartedly. Do it with passion. And maybe you don't know how it's going to work or what benefit it's going to bring. You will be speaking like this to someone else maybe after 10, 15 years. Okay? So that's it from our end. We are done. And if there are any questions, we are ready to take them.
Students, if you have any questions, you can ask or maybe put in the chat box. If you have a problem with bandwidth, you can put it in the chat box,
Yes.
please.
Did we complete on time? Yes. So come on, anything that you would want to know?
Or if you want to give any feedback, you want to say something.
That's
Even if
also
it's
well.
not a, yeah, even if it's not a question, but you want to say something, say a few words or you want to say something, you can do so.
I'd like to say something.
Yes. Just let us know your name, please.
If I'm Sayed again.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to thank you for coming here and giving us this talk actually, because I've attended a lot of webinars on entrepreneurship, literally a lot. Okay, I've watched a lot of TEDx talks and all, but honestly, today's talk was the most interactive talk I've ever had, and I've never had this much fun in this talk, and I feel I've learned a lot from this compared to others.
Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. And thank you for interacting and participating and the lovely words that you just shared. And do reach out. Because as I said, I spoke from the heart. This is what I've been living for 1.5 years. So maybe that connect even happened because of that. It's not just theory. I'm living what I'm just sharing with you.
Exactly. Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah, that could be the reason. And when I tell you that be okay with failures, when I say that to you, it gets reinforced for me that it's okay if I didn't cause a batch and things like that. So it's two-way. Thank you so much.
Welcome. And on that note, I'd like to ask another question.
Yes.
How do you actually deal with failures when it comes your way?
Yes. Yes.
I stopped talking to people for 2 days. And then I
I'm
realized
sorry.
I think you'll have to be a little louder.
when I go through a failure, I generally shut up. Okay. I put myself in a shell and I'm like, oh no, what have I done? What is happening? And then I reach out to someone who's close to me. When we talk it out with somebody else, that's what helps the most. And then, while talking to someone, you automatically start looking at it objectively rather than in a guilty fashion. For the past couple of weeks, when I've been trying to do something and I'm not causing a batch that I have promised I will cause. This is not even my mom's batch. No? By the way, this is for some third trainer. And then when I spoke to mom, I spoke to a couple of my friends and all the guilt went away and I realized what I didn't do. And I found new openings for action. So my concise advice is take your 1 day, 2 day, and then go share it with someone.
Okay, so you mean I have to take a break after a failure and then bounce?
Yes, be okay with it. Allow those emotions. So that's what I said. If sometimes, Avila ma'am, if you permit and if there's a possibility, keep a session on emotional intelligence. They'll really need it. They really need it. So if I hope I've got your name right. See, these are emotions that you are dealing with. Anxiety, stress, worry, right? They're all emotions. And they have a role in your life, our life. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So and it's a skill to handle those emotions. So it's like the weather is bad outside. It's raining. Goa keeps getting these landfalls and some, what do you call that, cyclone and all. What do? Suppose the weather department has told you that the weather is going to be bad. What do?
Sit at home, sleep.
You wait for it to go away. Emotions are like that. Give yourself time. Don't try to push them. Don't try to pretend they're not happening. You feel like banging your head on the wall, do it. Make sure there's a cushion there. Or have friends who'll put the cushion for you over there. You should have, and Charanya told you talk, but talk to people who believe in you. See, there's a lot of resignation and skepticism all around. Ye nahi hoga. Don't reach out to such people. Are you with me?
Yeah,
You'll get like-minded people. Find entrepreneurs. Find people who are. That's why I said it's a community phenomenon. So Sharanya and I are blessed. We have an amazing set of friends who do not let us talk the language of mere se nahi hoga. They say, aap kar sakte ho. You have it in you. Each one of you who's here today, all 30, 32, all of us have the potential to cause what we want in life. And we are getting stopped. And the world will speak the language of nahi hoga. Look at Musk. So I think who shared? Shwesh and Ifan, you shared that people said you're crazy and it's not going to work. Did he give up?
no, I didn't.
He didn't. Look at world leaders. Look at Narendra Modi. He had said 2020, India will be on the Mars. The mission failed. Did they give up?
No, they did not.
And the consequences, so the consequence of our not forming a batch for 2 months is there is no money. And therefore, whatever we've said, we had decided that we'll start taking salary, which we are not doing. And we've given up on that. So I've given up on, okay,
More than
no
salary,
shopping. Yeah.
we had decided we'll onboard a couple of trainers.
Yeah. There are people waiting for us to onboard them. Are you seeing? So it's okay. We have to face the consequences. That's okay. And look at failure as a failure in the actions that you took, not you. If Ifam didn't fail. Success or failure, Ifam, happens only in action. Let me share another thing, which some of you, if you're WhatsApp, if you download all videos, you must have seen this. Do you know that when a lion or a tiger or any animal, when it hunts for animals, for its prey, when it wants food, what is the success ratio? Do you think every time a lion goes out to hunt for food, it succeeds?
Not really.
Have you seen him getting depressed and going to a counselor or a psychiatrist or saying, I just can't kill a zebra now?
No, I haven't actually.
Do it. Or maybe his parents will
Lions
think,
might have, right, their own language in which they speak to their friends or their.
yeah. True. So don't, and as rightly pointed, don't bottle it up also. Let it come out. Give, set a rule. So I have told Sharanya, set a rule. How long are you going to be depressed? How long are you going to be sad? Okay, we'll not disturb you till then. Go do what you want. But if you've said 1 day, 2 days, bounce back. So at my age, I have declared that a couple of hours, I'm going to be sad, upset, angry 2 hours. I'm mad with Sharanya for not causing a batch. Kitne ghante? 2 ghante. So that's the self-discipline. Nobody's telling me. And I love my idea. I love Metamorphosis. I don't want it to stop. And if you'll pick it up. It takes, it's emotional intelligence is also called maturity.
And it's also a skill.
And it's a skill. You can learn to identify your emotions and handle it better. To begin with, let it be. Don't deny emotions. So if you feel like crying, cry. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you. And thank you for giving me a response that did not disappoint me yet again.
Yeah. Yes, you're welcome. And thank you for making it interactive. Otherwise, anyone else? Or should we, should we conclude? Avila ma'am, all yours, I'm done. If there are more questions, I'm here.
Any more questions, students, or anything you want to say? Add to probably what Ifam has said, or maybe something different. We still have time, students, so it's okay. Just open up.
Something you wanted to tell them about the idea. I don't know. No, there was something else. How many of you doubt that you don't have an idea and you just don't know? That's also okay. But you want to be an entrepreneur and you don't yet have an idea.
Yeah,
that's also okay. Yeah.
The best way of finding out an idea, I'll tell you guys, is looking for a problem in your own life and then solving it. For me, it was public speaking, it was communication. This is my way of solving it. Right? So this is also how I know it works. This is what keeps me motivated and all of that. So if you don't have an idea yet, even that is fine. Look for something that you want to solve, and that's how you can get started. And we are very lucky. We have a lot of resources online where you can learn from people everywhere. Everywhere. Almost half of the things I use in Metamorphosis are like, taken from here, taken from there. Metamorphosis is like a collage. So that's,
There's a question. There's something
I
on the
think
chat.
so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sir is leaving.
Okay, Satish sir, thank you so much for being here for so long. So do
Thank you,
give me your
madam. Thank you. It
feedback.
was very informative, madam.
Thank you so much, sir. If there's any other feedback, sir, please feel free to share.
Sure, madam.
Thank you so much. Anything else, students? So whatever I can anticipate, I have tried to answer. I'm glad Avila ma'am allowed Sharanya because you can relate to her. In fact, there are times when I doubt. You know what my story is? That she's doing this because isko kaam nahi karna hai. She doesn't want a 9-to-5 job. She's running away from that. So she said, Mama, tumhari company mein aa jati hu. So yes, there are times when I think like that as a mother. But then I see the passion with which she's doing. And her rule.
You are not my mother right now.
All right, I'm not her mother. She just reminded me of a rule. So we have to draw the line. In fact, some friends suggested that you must never have a meeting at home. Here, we literally throw things at each other. So they told us, go to a cafe and have a meeting. At least you all will be civil to each other when you are discussing metamorphosis. So it's good to, and I'm really thankful to God that Sharanya saw an opportunity. Alone, maybe I would have given up. Because handling all this, the social media, from where we get our, which is one of the best ways of marketing with not much investment, is not my cup of tea. That's not my forte. So if you can find people, like-minded people who have other skills, right, you can take them on board. So trust, something that, trusting people, believing in them. These are critical skills, and they're all skills. They're all skills. That's what I love about it. They're all skills. You can practice it and learn it and use it. Yes, so we have about 10 minutes left. Are there any more questions, Avila ma'am? Or
Any more questions, students, or should we then conclude? Okay.
okay, Nicole is saying thank you. Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you for sharing. I hope you're saving the chat.
Okay. Raylan, are you there, Raylan? Raylan?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank our speaker, Dr. Poonam Ojha, and her daughter for sharing experience and knowledge with us today, for spending a precious time also with us. I would also like to thank us college management, principal, ESL faculty, and our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Raylan. Thank you, Avila ma'am.
Okay, Poonam, a big thank you to you. Honestly, I mean, students, I have known Poonam for the last, how many years? More than 20 years?
Yeah, easily.
Okay.
2003, 2004.
Yes, so more than 20 years. I've seen Sharanya when she was small and Sarthak too.
Yeah.
We've been very good family friends. I have cooked at her place and
yeah.
we have had our holidays and fun and a lot of
traveled
things.
Together to Jharkhand. You must tell them that.
Yes, we've traveled together to Jharkhand. And thank you, Poonam. It was nice to see you after so many years. In fact, we lost touch in the last couple of years, and especially after I came down to Goa. And more than you, I'm happy to see Sharanya. I'm really happy to see her doing so well, see her being your support, and I still remember your fights.
Yeah,
and I still remember your arguments.
Yes.
Yeah. But I know her right from her college days and even her school days. Okay, I'm really happy and I wish your venture all the very best. Stay blessed. May Metamorphosis grow to newer heights. Okay. And God bless you both for all what you do. And I'm happy that you become an entrepreneur at the age of
You're
I'm
not
not going
supposed
to
to say that.
reveal it.
Yeah, people are supposed to bear. And the one who
No.
guesses the least gets the reward. So if they, put a number which is far less than what it is, I'll come to Goa and deliver the.
One thing, students, for sure, she is elder to me, okay? So if they see my gray hair, they may turn me 55, Poonam, and they will see you are elder, you may be 60 years old. Okay.
No, I cover my gray hair. Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you,
thank
Kavita.
you.
Thank you for the opportunity. The pleasure was all ours. We loved the 2 days that we rushed and did what we did. I hope we've contributed. Yeah.
Of course, yes. Of
Thank
course, yes. This was
I
the
really
best
hope-
session.
I really hope this was not another session for
Yeah.
you guys. Like, that's just.
That was not our purpose, and I
Yeah.
hope we delivered with.
Not at all, not at all. I think they have already given a feedback. They said that it was really one of the most different and a unique session they've had. So thank you.
Thank you.
And
Take care.
yes,
Bye.
take care. Stay safe. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Yes, bye.